Greetings. Today is 9/11/2021, and I'm reflecting on, have you ever had to? And I recognize until a person has to, some things aren't born in them. Until you have to be responsible, you won't. Until you break something and have to be accountable and responsible for it, you may not take care of it. Take care of something else. I reflect on the lawnmowers that I had. I started off with regular tractor, wide radius turning, and I mean, I had more money than sense at the time, and I would jack it up in the air and get whatever was off from under it and just let it slam down. And a couple times it messed up some connections on it, and even on some other stuff, just running over stuff. I even had one that I did this job for a guy, and he gave me, it was my first ride, it was a snapper, and I left it at my grandmama's house out in front, weeks on end. My dad kept telling me, you need to go get your lawnmower, and I'm just like, it's my lawnmower, it don't matter, somebody stole it, obviously. And even though I didn't really care, excuse me, I did feel some type of way for a hot second. But it was like, I already knew it was probably going to happen because I just kept being defiant and not going to go get it. And, you know, now, the mowers that I have now, even though they're like commercial grade, I'm very mindful of what I do to refrain from tearing it up. That's on the material. On the, human side, in terms of kids, you gotta be mindful of what you sow into them. It's like, even with teaching your own kids, you care so much that you probably get, let me talk about me, I get more upset when they don't get something, and it's just like, man, I have to really be patient with my children, because I recognize they're not going to get it with the extra emotion going on. And even with non-school related stuff, you just got to be mindful of, they growing, they learning, and dealing with people, oh my God, dealing with people that you're trying to train to work with you. It's like, oh my God. Man, it's crazy. It's crazy. Excuse me. It's crazy when you recognize how people just come up short in responsibility and always waiting on you to tell them what to do. And I'm just like, we talked about the scope of what we doing. I'm like, and please don't don't tell me something right here when I'm asking you to hand it to me. This is crazy. Anyway, I ain't even gonna go there. No, I'm not gonna go there. So anyway, I recognize dealing with people and emotions. I mean, until you break somebody's heart that you care about, I mean, you may not take care of the next person's heart. And I'm just saying, just like, what have you had to do? It's all in the thing, what have you had to do? What has become a must in your life? Like, it's a must for me to be careful of the hearts that are around me, whether mate or children, even mothers of my children. It's like, I mean, not that they are my responsibility, but it's just like, I'm not sowing no bad seed with you. My parents, and it's so amazing to be my dad's best friend. Just somebody that he knows he can depend on and confide in, and just no judgment zone. Not that I won't tell him, you know, his stuff stink, but still, a no judgment zone. And sometimes you gotta stop caring so much so you can care, if that makes sense. What do I mean? Sometimes you have to remove stuff from being your responsibility in terms of seeing the manifestation of this thing go through, versus casting that care on God and saying, hey, look, God, I know you got this. I can't worry about this. Hey, either somebody gonna come through or they not. Can't worry about it. There's so much more life to live. Like, right now, I'm not finna sit around the house just twiddling my thumbs. Shoot, there's too much out here in this world to be doing. And one thing I know about me, I got plenty of stuff I need to do, plenty of stuff I can be doing, and can't just sit around and wait on folks. Life goes on. This is probably the worst time for me to do a show in the evening. Oh my God. It's like 6:50. But yeah, I did work today. I even recognize being an empath. I am an empath. I'm not the empathic type that I get around folks and I just, oh my God. You know, it's like once I develop a relationship, I have a certain intuition and either irritation, if the person is irritated, whether my children or mate or parents, you know, like I said, somebody close to me. And I recognize that when those times happen, I stop and start praying. I pray regularly, and I pray in tongues. I make declarations: no weapon formed against us shall prosper. Blessed are my children. Blessed are my parents. Blessed is my mate. We're covered and protected. All things work out for the good of those who love the Lord. Just go rattling down, just go down, you know, through prayer, making things happen in the spirit and letting it manifest of it as to what happens. I even had dreams about some folks close to me, and oh my God, I remember I was dreaming about a car getting broke in some years back. It just flashed in my head, and it ended up being my cousin's car, and I was like, oh man, that's crazy. But it's just how things happen when being an empath. And I don't think a lot of people understand what an empath. Now, there are some empaths who are very sensitive. They can't come into, you know, some of them are very, I don't know if I want to say introverted as much as sometimes they are very careful about when they go out and audiences, and some are very some people won't, just like, no, don't touch me, because they'll absorb energy and things like that. Oh my God, this place is closed. Man, that sucks. So I was headed to Costco's, but they are closed. Oops. Oh, they closed at 6. I'm thinking they closed at 7. So anyway, but you know, at being an empath, I've had to be careful of who I care for, because I got to care for me. I got to love me. And in order to love me, I can't, 7 o'clock, I can't be connecting with people who do stupid stuff. I mean, just out there. And because that's going to affect me. I mean, you know, some folks you can't help it being connected to them. Your kids, and they do what they do. Yeah. Until you are truly able to cut the cord with, you know, with past mates, and they out there doing what they do, and you feeling it. I'll never forget. Oh my God. I'm being very transparent now. Going through the divorce with my first wife, very immature myself, and I was seeing another woman during that divorce period, so I would feel her when she entertained a different guy that she was dealing with. And when my ex-wife moved on, I would feel her entertaining, and it's like, oh my God, like, who is, you know, like, so it was just like, man, you know what, enough. I wasn't meant to be this person, so enough. It's enough trying to figure out who I'm feeling, what I'm feeling. And oh my God, sometimes it was just crippling, the anxiety feelings that I would get from the alert of either one of them being with another man or whatever. And I just made up in my mind, I'm like, I'm not a cheat, I'm just gonna be a single, I'm gonna be with one person. So I ain't got to figure out like, oh my God, is it you? Is it you? Is it you? You know, it's a lot of responsibility with that. And it's like one of them things that I just had to. And you know, I kind of go back to my kids, and I just try and put them in positions where they have to. Like, you have to clean up your room. You have to do your homework. You have to make your lunch. You want something, you have to ask for it. You're not gonna tell me what you want. Just put them in positions where they have to have certain responsibilities, so when they go to the next level, they won't be so clueless on how to survive this world, how to thrive in this world. It's not just say survive, it's how to thrive. I mean, some people have never had to be responsible for their lives, and when they get out here and have kids, and you know, you can't even keep up with putting stuff in the bag at the grocery store because you just so la da da da. I mean, I look at so many folks who still at home with their parents in their 30s and 40s. I mean, you know, sometimes, you know, life events happen, but I'm just saying, ain't never left the nest, not ever. You know, not that you return to help take care of your parents or anything like that, but you just never left the nest. You've never had to pay taxes on a house, mortgage, whatever. And it's just like, okay, what are you gonna do when things transition? Like, mom and dad are not always gonna be here, or whoever's taking care of you is not always gonna be there to take care of you. I mean, could be, but it's just like, what do we do to take care of ourselves? And some people don't value that. Some people, they trust their money, and they just pay people to do whatever. But I don't care how rich I get. You know, certain things I'm just not gonna do on a regular basis. Like, I mean, I'll pay for a massage, but guess what? Baby, come rub my my back. You know what I mean? I mean, teach his own, but I mean, I believe in cleaning my own house. And that's because I don't think anybody cleans better than me. Now, I may take a while before I clean or whatnot, but at the same time, it's like when I clean, I'm cleaning the baseboards, I'm cleaning the top of the door molding, because that's where dust collects. And sometimes you gotta wipe the walls down, especially the corners, because them spider webs and dust accumulate. And please don't try and stick some on the wall with some tape without cleaning the wall. It's gonna fall right off. I mean, sweeping the floors and mopping is just mandatory, regular thing. Some people do not separate clothes when washing. At the very minimum, whites and colors are going to be separated. And I even look at, how do you clean clothes? Like, how do you want a stain to come clean? Some people don't recognize you're supposed to put the soap on the stain and agitate the fabric so it, you know, it can soak in and clean it out. Like the washing machine, it only pretty much rinses the soap through and agitates the clothing. But when you got specific stains and you want them out, you have to hand wash it in a sense and then put it in the washing machine for it to go through the cycle. And it's all in the sense of some people have never had to, so they don't know how to. And some people have never been trained. And as a parent, you know, I think it's a disservice as a parent to not train your children what you have, what your skill set is. It's a disservice. Why let your child go through life and not know how to wash clothes, wash dishes, dishwasher or not, wash clothes, just basic things, fold up clothes, clean up their room, just basic things, basic. No matter if you're rich or not, it don't matter. These are basic things that they need to know how to do, just for day-to-day functionality. So I just say, hey, people do what they do, but I know at the end of the day, life is a choice, and sometimes you may never have to. Sometimes you may never have to increase your conversation to realize, well, be more clear in your conversation so that people understand what you're saying. Some people may not realize how important it is to understand who you're talking to and how they understand and process things. Because if you love them, you study them. Whoever it is, your mate, your parents, your child. And even though sometimes we can get caught off guard because we get comfortable in situations and we get a little relaxed, but at the same time, know who is around you. And that's why you have professional talk, and that's why you have sometimes lax talk. So we code switch in terms of how we communicate in different environments, but we need to code switch in our relationships too. With our children, we need to talk in a certain way. If you want, like, I have a certain tone with my daughter or my son, and they know. My oldest, I don't do it anymore, but they know I'm not playing. Like, I joke and tease with my kids all day, but when I change that voice up, they know, oh, he ain't playing. I better do it right now. And matter of fact, I don't even have to get that tone too much since they older. But that's because you start a child off when they're young and how to train them. So, anyway, I'm just gonna tell y'all, think about what you haven't done because you haven't had to do it. That's probably limiting how you are being able to progress in life. mean, have you always been able to lean on your parents for money? Have you always been so clingy that you never had to be by yourself? I don't know. I mean, I'm just throwing out scenarios. If you're in a great relationship, I pray it lasts. I pray you never have to get out of that. When you don't want to be alone, loneliness sucks. Speaking from experience. I was counseling a couple and they really don't want to break up. But they had some hurt. And I'm just like, look, at the end of the day, you sign up to get hurt when you're in a relationship. It's just part of the deal. Don't get in a relationship and not expect to get hurt in it. And it's not intentional. Most of the time, it's not intentional. And a lot of times, we don't study our mate enough to know what the triggers and the traumas are. And sometimes our mate won't even tell us or validate that this is, or own their stuff in terms of saying, hey, this is a fault. This is a thing that's, not the best with me. When you say this, it makes me feel like this. That's proactive being in a relationship. Need to communicate. And until you lose what you really want, you don't appreciate it. So, peace over you, peace over your relationships. May God show you what you have to do so you can be on the next level of where you want to be. In Jesus' name.